So this show I put higher on my picks list than I probably needed to, because it honestly actually seems pretty dumb, and that's Kanojo Okarishimasu.
Yeah, you had that as your number 2, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and then I head tilted, and then I looked at it again and was like, yeah, I'm reading this correct, and I'm like, Cammie's the one who picked up the trashy anime this season. Okay, good for her.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to The Box, the Annie chat box where we good friends snuggle up in a teeny tiny space to talk about all things anime. My name is Cammie, and I am here with one of my favorite people, ever in the existence of all time. Can you guess who it is?
I'm looking behind me. Is there someone else here?
It is the one, the only, Cassie!
Well, I'm honored. And slightly overwhelmed. I haven't been here in, weeks. I don't know how to do this anymore.
Right?
How does do talk? How does do?
I have a secret to inform you. You're already doing it, so...
Aw, shit, son!
Magic!
Like riding a bike.
But, that's very true. I think I just have less scars. Physical scars, because if I go back and listen to, our first episodes, I think those are just... mental scars.
Or if you remember watching such beautiful classics as Yamibo, or Dusk Maiden of Amnesia, or
Green. Yeah.
Or what?
The thing that shall not be named.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like you said the name of an anime, but I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can I just tell you how much I just get into a fit of rage every time that opening comes up in AMQ? I just get so mad.
I mean, half the time I'm the one who's picking it up, so I can't really agree with you.
How dare you?
It's a great way to get points.
Dare you? You can try to get points without putting, one of your friends into a mental break.
Hey, boy. Hey, girl.
Okay. All right. Those scars aside, we're actually here to talk about something fun today on episode 153. We're going to talk about some upcoming anime for the summer 2020 season.
Yes.
So if you've listened to our, seasonal picks episodes before in the past, it's usually this really big, fun production that we put a lot of, love and care and storyline into, where we end up revealing to the other hosts what we will end up being watched as Cassie organizes them and randomizes them, and not randomizes all the time. You do you do a very fair system, now that I recall. But
order in the court.
Yes. So it's usually a big deal. However, due to a lot of circumstances right now, Lily and Craig have made the administrative decision to just take this season off for impressions. This has happened before. We are pretty chill with each other. We're all friends. We're look, if you need a break, that's fine. Cassie is great and is sticking it out with me. But because there's not really, a ton of stuff slated, and just, yeah, we decided that instead of assigning each other and then we're gonna reveal the shows that we're gonna watch, we're just gonna talk about shows that we're interested in checking out and have conversations about them. And, when it's time that the shows have come out, we've seen a couple episodes, we will reconvene and give you some of our general impressions. Yeah! So how this is going to work out is that we'll just, you can't really call it a round robin with two people, but we'll go
tennis. We're playing tennis.
I love it.
Ping pong.
Ping pong! Yes, we are playing ping pong. We're going to volley back and forth for anime titles. And just try to start a little conversation about the things that are coming out, because despite there not being a whole lot, there are some that seem pretty promising. Because I just talked a lot, Cassie. How about you get us started?
Okay, so when I do want to let everybody know we did go through the process of actually picking things out we wanted to watch. So my number one thing that I had at the top, and I was hoping no one would steal from me, and it ended up not mattering, is The Great Pretender, which is the new Wit Studios show. So if you're familiar with Wit Studios, they do like Attack on Titan and a whole bunch of other really hype and good-looking fucking shows. But this seems to be a little bit outside of their warehouse. It's like set in the US, and it's all about car chases and trying to find people, and it just seems like a bombastic, well-animated good time. I don't know who's doing the music on it, but the music and the PV also just sounded sweet as fuck. So I'm really looking forward to this one. But I guess what it's about is a swindler, Edamura Masato. He's supposedly Japan's greatest swindler, and together with his partner, they try to trick a Frenchman in Asakusa, but they unexpectedly get tricked instead. And the Frenchman, who they tried to swindle but fail horribly at, turns out to be Laurent Thierry, a much higher level confidence man, and he's also in control of the mafia. So they get themselves into some pretty deep shit real quick by barking up the wrong tree. But yeah, they're basically end up, from what I can see in the PV, it looks like for some reason they end up in like the US, or at least for a little bit in like Hollywood, and there's a bunch of money being thrown around, and it just looks like a high stakes good time is what I was getting from just watching the PV and just making some general speculations on my part. Is this one on your radar? Are you going to check that one out?
Yes, so I don't think it crossed my radar when we were making our picks lists, but then I was able to see it on Annie List today when I was just going through and gathering notes, but I guess on mobile, I just didn't see, like, the synopsis or the PV. I actually only saw the poster and saw that it was by Wit, and I was like, oh, sweet, okay, this looks cool, this sounds cool. I think the only thing that I'm sad about is that it's going to be another Netflix jail, but, you know, that hasn't stopped us before from seeing good anime, so.
From what I was told, and I'm going to dig up really quick, but The Great Pretender anime is a Netflix show, but I think they are going to drop it all out at once, like, relatively soon, but let me go double check.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I know Craig mentioned something like that. I wish he was actually here to verify whether that's yay or nay, but what's this? I'm opening my Netflix app. What? Is it already here?
Is it?
What? Is it here?
That's insane, because it says, at least on Annie List, it's... Oh, wait, it says episode 6 is airing in, like, a day. What?
Yeah, like, I guess the first 5 episodes already dropped. I'm trying to see if I can actually pull it up on my Netflix app, but it's being something. But anyway, regardless, I will check it out as soon as it does drop.
Yeah, same.
I see a way to click on it, but I don't see a way to actually, like play it. I don't understand what is happening.
I'm really excited because Mr. French guy, Laurent Thierry, is voiced by Junichi Suabe, so he's going to have a velvety voice, which will be great. That looks awesome. And yeah, it's weird. So on Annie List, it says that it was spring 2020, but I definitely didn't hear like any murmurings about it during spring, so I wonder if it just had a wonky delay schedule maybe because of everything. But no, I agree with you. I'm hype, and you can check this out whenever you want, at least, it seems like.
Maybe. I don't know what's going on with my app right now, because I see that I can click on it, but it's not showing me any videos on my phone, so I don't know. It's coming soon if it isn't already out. I'm excited.
Damn right. Okay, then speaking of more high-profile stuff, I don't think I ranked this highly, because I think I was also thinking when I thought Craig would be on here, I figured this would be his number one, but The God of High School looks pretty nice. It seems like the brand new, like, shiny shonen. It's another manhwa adaptation. It's really cool that we're getting a lot more of those now, the Korean comics. And Like, I don't know if it's going to be more of a battle anime. Let's check the thing. Yes, it began as a fighting tournament to seek out the best fighter among all high school students in Korea. Mori Jin, a taekwondo specialist and a high school student, soon learns that there is something much greater beneath the stage of the tournament. So, giant tournament arc anime that maybe has some plot twists. Sounds fun. The PV for it is hype as hell, and I think Get has read some of it, and he is very excited to check it out. I'll probably look at a couple episodes as well and see if it holds my attention, but I have no doubt it's probably going to be really good. It is also done by Mappa, and I do like what Mappa does as well. Have you heard about this one? Actually, I know you have.
I have, and it's one of the ones that I looked at, and much like yourself, like, I just knew that it was either going to be really high on Craigslist, and I knew for sure it was high on Lily's when we were making ours. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother putting it on my list, because I feel like it's better suited to them. I think that this is a show that, while I'll definitely probably give a couple episode watch to, I feel like just what it's going to be about is going to be way more hype for them. But I could be completely wrong. I could check it out and it'll be my favorite anime ever. And Lily's not going to watch anime if she's not forced to. So, we'll see what happens. But sure, it's on my radar. I was definitely going to give it at least a 1 or 2 episode watch. And now that they're gone,
that means we can swipe up all the hype anime.
We get everything. It took too long. Now your anime's gone. That's what happened.
Oh, we're gonna have to link that in the description on YouTube so people can get the memes. I love it. But yeah, very much just like you said, I think it's not necessarily something that immediately you and I are gonna be like, oh my god, as hype as maybe some of our other co-hosts, but we'll check it out because we do like quality stuff. So, looking forward to that one. Is there another one that you have on your list?
The next thing I had listed down was your number 1 pick for next season, so I might mention it, but still kind of put you toward the front to talk about it.
No worries.
And that's Decadence, because that show is looking hot. It's looking hot. And it's also by Studio Nut, so I find it kind of interesting, because you covered, like, the first anime they did on our podcast, like, a million years ago when they did Saga of Tanya the Evil. So when I saw that this was number 1 on your list when I was originally trying to put everything together, I was like, well, that makes sense. Like,
I'm so touched you remember that.
It's like Cammy's coming back for the nut. That's always what she do.
Oh God. We're not telling my fiance that because he uses nut as like a joke pun all the time and I get really mad at him. So he's not allowed to know that. Oh, well,
I will say that I about nutted watching this PV. Like,
yes. Oh my gosh, the animation looks stunning on this. I'm so intrigued by the world already. It just feels kind of like a steampunk fantasy world.
Yeah.
And, yeah. The character designs are really nice. I'm sure there was CG. I kind of just remember drooling at the PV, but like it all just looks very polished and very nicely done. And I am excited to see it. To give another little synopsis from AniList, it says, many years have passed since humanity was driven to the brink of extinction by the sudden emergence of the unknown life forms Gadol. Those humans that survive now dwell in a 3,000-meter high mobile fortress Decadence built to protect themselves from the Gadol threat. Denizens of Decadence, we really like alliteration here, fall into 2 categories. Gears, warriors who fight the Gadol daily, and tankers, those without the skills to fight. One day, Natsume, a tanker girl who wants to become a gear, meets the surly Kaburagi, an armor repairman of Decadence. This chance meeting between the seemingly 2 opposites, the girl with a positive attitude who never gives up on her dreams, and the realist who has given up on his, will eventually shake the future course of this world. Sounds like a fucking adventure. And even though it's kind of not exactly the same, like just looking at the promo art, considering there's a lot about like scaling walls and these unusual threats, just gives me a little bit of like Made in Abyss vibes somewhere, like very vaguely.
Yeah, girl.
So that makes me excited. Does mean I could get really disappointed in the end, but who knows? I am happy to give it a chance, for sure.
I am very soft for that kind of, like, relationship, too. The worn-out old man who just is giving up on his dreams, and the spunky girl there to revive his I don't know, his gifts or his joy in living. I don't know. I just love that kind of, what's the word, relationship balance. It's just interesting.
I am very excited for their character dynamic. And the PV for this just looks so hype. I'm, like, watching it now. It's got this, like, really cinematic text and, like, cool music behind it, too. I'm excited. When is this one coming out? Start date is July, I think?
Yeah, it just says July 2020, so it may not have a specific date yet, but, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, we got to put this out that these are anime that we hope we can check out, but because of COVID, who knows if some of the stuff might last minute get, pushed, and it totally makes sense if it would. I know that there was an anime that was supposed to come out this season that Lily was so excited for, and it got pushed to October. So, who knows? But if it does show up in July, I will be watching it.
Hell yeah. And it looks like it'll be a Funimation, or it will be on their player, so here's hoping their player can do it justice. That's all I'm gonna say on that. That's why I haven't actually still started Kaguya-sama Season 2. I'll get on that, but
soon.
Their player. Yeah, soon. Soon. Okay, well then to go and, let's do this one. So this show I put higher on my picks list than I probably needed to, because it honestly actually seems pretty dumb, and that's, Kanojo Okarishimasu.
Yeah, you had that as your number 2, and I looked at it. And then I head tilted, and then I looked at it again and was like, yeah, I'm reading this correct. And I'm like, Cammy's the one who picked up the trashy anime this season. Okay, good for her.
No, for real. Like, I have in my notes, I wrote down college students, pretty character designs, and a bullshit harem. Is this the mid-2000s all over again? Perhaps. So it just gets even more stupid when you read the synopsis, which says that now, in today's Japan, there are rental services to deliver an afternoon with a friend, a parent, or even a fake girlfriend. And after a staggering betrayal by his girlfriend, hapless freshman Kazuya gets just desperate enough to give it a try. But he quickly discovers how complicated it can be to rent an emotional connection, and his new girlfriend, who's trying to keep her side hustle secret, will panic when she finds out her real life and Kazuya's are intertwined in surprising ways. Family, school, and life all start to go wrong. The PV, it's a fucking bullshit harem, and I don't know, the character designs are pretty, and I was like, maybe when I put it at number 2, I was thinking that there really wasn't anything else, and I forgot to, like, move it down. But yeah, if anything, it looks like it will at least be decently pretty to look at. It's animated by TMS, I want to believe. Where is it on AniList? I don't know how to read their page. Yes, TMS. Okay, yeah, TMS.
Do you have an AniList now? Do you have an AniList?
I don't. I'm just using their charts.
I got so fucking excited for a second. I was like, finally, I can follow Cammy's every move as she watches anime. But no. This is top 10 anime betrayals right here.
You still can. It's just inconvenient because you don't use Kitsu anymore. So it just means extra effort.
The Kitsu's also broken. It doesn't show the... That's why I moved over. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. That could actually...
We're padding this out, yeah.
I mean, that could be a fun box bits topic. We could all talk about, like, different ways that we like to keep track of our anime, and I'll continue to try and convince Cammy to convert. It'll be great. I'll just keep begging, and then one day I'll wake up and she'll be like, fine, I broke, leave me alone.
I will. This is usually how it goes. If Cassie wants something from me and she just keeps dropping hints, I'll usually give. The only thing that this hasn't worked for is song covers, because those take effort.
I mean.
Anyway, the only real thing of interest for me in this show, really outside of, like, that the art looks pretty, is that it's at least college students. So hopefully it's a college harem and not a high school harem, but, like, the tags are, like, ecchi and shonen and stuff. It's probably dumb.
Speaking of ecchi anime coming out next season, I need to go look one up. I'm not going to actually talk about it, but I knew that it was going to end up somewhere on Craigslist. And then when I was talking to Zach randomly about our picks and stuff and what we were going to do, he's like, yeah, Craig said he was going to put that on his list. And I lost my mind. Let me go find.
Oh my god. I know about, like, 2. One of them is the Monster Girls one, and then there was another one that I feel like was some sort of isekai ecchi thing. I am also so excited for this show to do the thing that always happened with me when I watch harems, which is where there's clearly the best girl and she's obviously, like, gonna be sidelined, and then I just get mad and give up after, like, 4 episodes. That is likely gonna happen with this show. I can probably count on, like, one hand the amount of harems that actually had endgame that I wanted. Life's hard.
I found it. It's called Dokyu Hentai.
Oh, yes.
HX Eros.
HX Eros? What could that mean? What are they alluding to? No fucking clue.
I'm excited. It doesn't even have the studio listed.
Is there a PV? I don't think I didn't examine that one closely.
I read the title and moved on. I'm not gonna lie. I just saw hentai and Eros and I was like, seems like a little overkill. I'm gonna move on. But
yeah, you know, like, Magical Senpai just, like, killed me on a lot of, like, ecchi hentai stuff. And I was like, I don't need anymore.
Let's read the synopsis just for fun. Let's see here.
Do it.
In a world on the verge of a great disaster that began 5 years ago, heroes who, with the help of a device called HX Eros, use the power of ecchi and erotic power to save the planet from libido-devouring monsters. Enjo Reto and Hoshino Kirara are childhood friends who have drifted apart from each other. One day, they're caught in a battle against a sensor bug that feeds on human sexual energy to evolve. After successfully taking down the enemy, they join a group of heroes like them, using the erotic power of HX Eros Force to fight off monsters.
This is literally, the fantasy version of that one fucking show, Shimoneta. It's like fucking fantasy Shimoneta, literally. Like, why?
Because I might check out an episode just because I'm trash.
I mean, hey, if it's decent, I mean, I watched the first episode of Shimoneta, so let me know if it is decent. There's nothing in there that, like, I won't be able to handle, like, Gleipnir, so. Speaking of, how you liking that Gleipnir, Cassie?
What are you talking about? That's the most family-friendly show of 2020.
Lord. Oh, God.
I would pay good money to be able to sit in a room with you and watch that anime. Like,
hey, next time that we are in the same space or together, we'll make it happen.
I just need to set up Audacity in the background and do, like, a live rip track of Cammy watching Gleipnir and then paste it onto our uploads for Patreon.
We should totally make riff tracks a Patreon tier.
That'd be fun.
That note down for later. Yes.
That'd be fun. Just going through and being like, wow. Wow.
We could totally also just, like, have Lily on there. She doesn't even have to watch. She'll just, like, be playing a game and then do thoughtful banter as she usually does, so that way the patrons can still enjoy her wonderful content without her actually having to watch anime. It'll be great.
That sounds fun to me. Scribble it down. We can discuss this.
Yes! All right. Other things aside, was that your turn, I guess, or do you want to talk about another one real quick?
I can throw one out that there isn't a whole lot of information out about, but I am intrigued by, and that's Ikebukuro Westgate Park.
Same.
I'm really intrigued because, one, it's based off a novel, and we don't get that a whole lot, and when we do, it's typically pretty good. And two, it's being animated by Studio Dogakobo, and I learned that seeing Yesterday for Me, which was a completely not moe show that they did last season, one of the biggest things I heard about it is that it's just so beautifully animated and it looks so realistic and it was really nice. And I'm hoping they're going to take that same talent and pour it into Ikebukuro Westgate Park. However, don't know a whole lot about it. The synopsis isn't very long. I couldn't find a PV for it. So it's probably the most blind of my picks that I'll probably, take to heart regardless.
Yeah.
And just watch it anyway.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This one was also on my radar, but especially when there's like not much out about it already, and considering I think Doga Kobo is still going to be working on like their fishing anime, I guess. Like, I'm a little worried this one might get pushed, but again, understandable. What can you do? And we'll wait and see. But it definitely wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. But I absolutely agree. It's fun seeing Doga Kobo get out of their just their comfort zone a little bit. And there is also a manga adaptation as well. So maybe if like you're curious or it does get delayed, we can just like check out a couple chapters of the manga. Looks like very cool like gang tensions and turf wars and stuff. And I'm down. I am very down. Okay.
Same.
Well then, this is another one where I'm kind of gonna give it to you once I talk briefly about it, because that is Ochikobore Fruit Tart, or Dropout Fruit Tart, which under the tags, it's an idol seinen show. Very interesting. And my biggest standout for it was the character designs. Would you like to go into detail on that?
Well, before we even started recording, I mentioned this show to Cammie, and that one of the main things that appealed to me just in the poster, not looking at what it was about or that it was an idol anime or even watching the PV, is I looked at the main character and I was like, oh my god, she looks just like Nadeshiko from Eurocamp. Like, almost identical. I'm in. Because she's just like so cute. And then I watched the PV and I was like, oh my god, they're all so cute. Just what I need. I think that there is a small part in my heart that always, even though I constantly kind of bash idol anime just to give Craig a hard time because he seems to like them quite a bit. I think in my deep heart of hearts, I liked Love Live. I enjoy Aikatsu. I enjoy idol anime, and I think that if it's done correctly, you can have a really good show about female friendship and being dedicated towards a group goal, which I think is wonderful and great and really shows off some great feminine companionship. And I just hope that that's what we'll get in Fruit Tart, especially because they're all kind of like dropout idols.
Yeah.
Like, not ones that are like already in the idol sphere. They're not already signed or anything like that. It sounds like they're just trying to become idols to help a dormitory not be demolished, and so they have to work against a debt as well. So they have to get formed, they got to get popular, they got to make money, and they got a time limit, which is kind of similar to the Love Life formula, but not exactly.
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, because in Love Live, they were trying to get enough popularity so that their school wouldn't get shut down. In this, it sounds like they're trying to repay and I quote, 100 million yen debt to keep this dormitory from being demolished. So it could be fun or it could be really dumb. I don't know. But it looks like it'll be cute.
Yes. Hopefully it'll have good comedy. It looks like the director has done a lot of stuff, ranging from like Nurse Witch Komugi-chan, R, Mayo Chiki, and also Oshiete Galko-chan. And hey, I like Galko-chan. I thought that had a fun dynamic of girls, and hopefully, at least if anything, it will be cute. We're gonna ignore that he directed that show Island and maybe some other stuff. and it does come down again to like the source material, also the people for like composition and whatnot. So yeah, I'm with you. I would like to cross fingers. And if anything, I just really love the purple-haired girl with the giant fucking buns on her head. I want to see her, like, walk around and fall over because her gravity isn't, like, properly centered. That would be great. And I'd be down for it. Alrighty. Yeah. And then there was another idol anime you glanced at, right?
Oh, yeah, and it was just kind of side-eyed because I was like, oh, look, another idol anime. And that's Lapis Relights. It honestly also does not have a whole lot of information out about it. The only thing that I really know is that it's being produced by Studio Mausu, which hasn't done, like, a whole lot of stuff that I necessarily liked, but they have done stuff that other people I know really like Kami-sama no Inai Nichiyobi or Sunday Without God, I think. And then they also did Kakushigoto, which I like a whole lot. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here that I have not watched, but I know a lot of other people are fans of, like Nogizaki Haruko no Himitsu or Juni Tyson, things like that. Things I've heard about in passing. So I wouldn't say the studio is necessarily what's making me want to do it, and it's definitely not a great synopsis because there isn't one. But I watched the PV, and it looks like they're like idols that can also perform magic.
Okay. Magical idols.
That could be fun. It could also just be a terrible generic show that's being made to appease to the lowest common denominator. We don't know yet. That's the fun with idol shows. You don't know until you watch. But yeah, so I'll definitely give both of these idol shows a glimpse, and I'll probably just pick one that I like the most and stick with it. And then probably come back and give a short synopsis of both in like a month or so when we reconvene.
Yeah. So I just glanced at this. Normally I don't look at the OVAs or ONAs in special category because I feel like it's going to be a singular episode. However, it does look like on July 9th, we're going to get a 10-episode like special ONA from Science Saru and Masaki Yuasa called Japan Sinks or Nihon Jinobotsu 2020.
Yes.
And there's already a PV out, and now I'm excited because I like checking out Yuasa's stuff. And I do usually like a lot of the things that Science Saru has. I haven't actually even read the synopsis for this yet. Oh, it does look like the original adaptation was in the 1970s, but now it is Japan in 2020 after the Tokyo Olympics. And it's about a family caught in an earthquake that hits Tokyo, and they attempt to escape the city, which now I'm like, oh no, is this going to be sad like Tokyo Magnitude was? RIP. Which I haven't seen, but, you know, earthquakes and family disasters and stuff can definitely get tragic. But just given all of the, like, production behind it, I am definitely going to give that a watch. Looks like it's also a Netflix thing, and so I wonder if they will release it all at once or, you know.
Probably. Also, speaking of rewinding back to the very beginning of this episode when we were talking about Great Pretender, I guess they've dropped the first 5 episodes in Japan, not here.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was half correct. Netflix did drop some of the episodes, just not here. Of course. This is fine. Eventually they'll come out, and eventually we'll watch them. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
I guess I'm hoping the same thing for this one then. It'll probably be similar where it might come out on Netflix Japan first and then... like, you know, it's such a double-edged sword for me with Netflix because I'm, like, frustrated that I have to wait, but I also am, like, props to you that the things that I'm usually, like, the most hype for, you guys sink your corporate little claws into. And I'm like, well, you do recognize quality, I guess. So...
Take it. I'll take it.
Yep.
I did hear this will also be the last thing that Yuasa's going to do because he's going into retirement. So it'll definitely be an important piece of media to consume. But then again, anime creators saying that they're going to retire doesn't really necessarily mean anything. So...
Yep.
How many years has Miyazaki been, quote-unquote, retired?
Retired since what? Like The Wind Rises, which is, like, super old now.
Yeah.
I was in like undergrad or something when that happened, and I've been out of college for a good amount of time now. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying he might come back, but if he doesn't, it'll be worth going back to at least give a look-see.
Yeah. Are there any things that you are gonna try and pick up there, like scraps from the previous season that got moved or something?
Look at you. Reading minds. Because
the
next thing I wanted to talk about was one I know that me and you both are going to check out. And that's The Millionaire Detective, Balance Unlimited, or Fugo Keiji, Balance Unlimited.
Yes.
It's just, you know what? Read your note. Just read your note that you told me you had. Your note.
Okay. In all caps, hot.
Hot.
H-O-T. Hot.
Hot. And from what I've seen of the opening, what little I've seen of the opening, because I'm trying not to spoil myself on it, because I've heard that OP is amazing, but I've seen a little gif of him setting some money on fire. It's literally on fire. It's hot, guys. It's hot!
God. Oh, I'm also... Ooh. I'm worried, man. If he's literally burning money, maybe I'll hate him. Just because it's like you could donate that to charities, fam. But you have so much wealth that you're burning it. Are you Jeff Bezos or something?
From what I understand, their dynamic is he being, I think his name is Daisuke, he has a bunch of assets and a bunch of money, and he thinks that he can solve all of his problems with money and power. And then you've got his other side, Haru Kato, and Haru is super repulsed by all of the material ways of thinking that his partner thinks.
Right.
And he's like, money isn't everything. And then Daisuke's like, oh, I can prove you wrong. And I guess that's their dynamic. They just hate each other, and I'm all for it.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I've heard Daisuke literally shoves a guy off of a bridge in one of the first couple episodes without any remorse. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, this sounds like my kind of man. Exactly. This is why I date women now.
Chaotic bad, or whatever, I guess. Just
chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil, thank you. Oh, the worst. That will be very interesting. I'm excited and I'm glad, because I was a little bit disappointed when I heard this one got delayed. It's awesome that it has gotten some time off and will be able to come back. So I am also there for that. And yeah, the commentary on money will probably be really interesting. Question for you. Do you think, actually 2 questions. Do you believe that ReZero Season 2 is actually ever going to come out and actually exist? And if so, do you think you'll check it out or not?
ReZero it's complicated.
Yep.
Because ReZero came into my life when I was a naive and younger anime fan. Which isn't saying a whole lot, because it was around the time we first started this episode and I was still in my mid-20s. I should have known better. It's isekai trash, and I think it's one of the big reasons, along with Sword Art Online, that we have so much goddamn isekai now.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I kind of just detest it, not because it did anything in particular or its content is bad, but just the precedent it's set for the anime sphere in the last couple of years. But on the other hand, it's very well animated. It's also wit, I believe. Is it? I can't. Or is it White Fox? White Fox. Here we go. I mixed those two up. The 2 W's. But yeah, White Fox does good stuff. It's always been a really beautiful show. After I took a step back from it, after we reviewed it a million years ago, I realized it wasn't necessarily, in my opinion, as good as I thought it was to myself. I found a lot more problems with it. I have found a lot more problems with the main character himself. Yeah. I recently learned what the word simp means, and realized it could apply to Subaru in every way, shape, and form.
And it does. Yes.
And I realized that I glorified this anime for the longest time that's just about this simp who doesn't appreciate the other women around him making sacrifices for him. And he has some very questionable interactions with other characters as well. Yeah. And as I'm looking back, I'm like, I don't know if I even really like this character. I'm not sure if I even really liked this show. Why did I love ReZero so much so many years ago? So I might have to revisit it just to find out why. I feel like it was entirely Rem, most likely, but
I think so.
That's what it was. I fell for a woman yet again. God damn it.
Very similarly, honestly, when I look back on it, the one thing that I remember really enjoying in this show, and this does not go for all of them, certainly not, but there were some female characters that I really enjoyed. Rem and Ram I found really interesting. I love Beatrice. She is still the cutest anime librarian to ever exist, and anytime that I get to see her, I get really fucking happy. Felt was interesting. The green-haired girl, Kirike, they are fun. and then you still want to ignore, like, all the fucking harem bullshit. But, you know, who knows if it's even gonna hold up, and, like, my anticipation or care, like you said, it's been so long that I'm just kind of like, this might just come off as nothing but mediocrity now because of, like, the time, what this represents as a whole to, like, anime genre stuff. It just seems so doomed. Like, the trailer is so foreboding and doomed, and, like, it's been delayed so many times. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm just like, it's never going to happen. It's just, it's an urban legend, like one of those scary stories.
It's the anime Kingdom Hearts 3. Like,
yes.
But, you know, once it does drop, will I check it out? Yes.
Yeah.
Will
why
I
not?
will I want to? Not particularly, because I feel like I need to go back and rewatch the first season, and that's kind of it's kind of a slog. Not that it's boring, but it is a 2-core anime, and
yeah,
I gotta watch Super Gals next week, and I got Soma. I'm rewatching Inuyasha. Do I want to rewatch ReZero too? Not really. But
yeah,
I'll do what I gotta do, especially because I feel like it's a show that people in the community will be talking about, and our friends will be talking about. I know that John, previous host on here, is probably looking forward to it, and I know for sure Terry is going to be watching it. So,
yeah.
If not coming up to me and being like, hey, Cassie, let's watch this. She may have already done that. I don't remember. If you're listening, Terry, and you already asked, I'm sorry. Ask me again. I'll say yes. But, yeah, that's my tangled relationship with ReZero.
Beautifully said. Entirely understood. Honestly, more than the anime that's coming out this upcoming season, I'm excited for movies. They're finally giving me the part 1 of the 2-part movies that they're going to do for Sailor Moon to adapt the Dead Moon Circus arc, which is my favorite arc, also known as Sailor Moon Supers, when my best girl falls in love with a horse. It's going to be very exciting. And since the art in Crystal and further got so much better with Sailor Moon Crystal 3, I'm just really excited to see what this looks like. And it focuses again on, like, probably one of my favorite arcs in the series. Hopefully with a movie budget too, it'll actually look really nice. But, you know, I'm not gonna get it here for like a million years, so that's the thing with movies. It's just gonna...
Yeah, you're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to wait.
Whales, I can just watch my DVDs or movies and shit. I have plenty of source to revisit if I want to. But yeah, that'll be out on... Ooh, that's out on September 11th. All right, there we go. And Fate Grand Order also has a movie coming out, which I'll watch because that game is that's like part of bonding for my fiance and I. So that as well, I'm excited for. But again, they'll take forever. But yeah, I think we covered, like we said, I don't think there's a ton slated, or at least not a ton slated that look like really, really good. But that does also give us time to like watch continuing shows, because I know Fruits Basket season 2 is still going.
Oh, yes. Delicious.
Delicious emotional pain.
God, I am just so, like, I'm just gonna take a 2-second little soapbox moment to say I am so proud of Zach lately. Like, he finished Rakugo.
Yes!
He's watching Fruits Basket and is always up to date on the newest episode before I even fucking am. And then I get on my Annie list, and I see this boy is watching Yuri on Ice. This boy.
Wait, what's he watching?
Yuri on Ice.
Oh my gosh, yes!
See? Yet another reason why you would be so much happier if you were on Annie list.
I guess so.
Would have also seen the feed where it said Zach or Count Abyss has watched episodes 1 through 4 of Yuri on Ice.
Oh man, you're so right. You're so right. Maybe one day I'll convert. Who knows? For a second, I thought you were gonna say that he's like Power Hour watching back-to-back Fruits Basket, and March comes in like a lion, and I was gonna be like, oh no, I'm concerned.
We're watching that together, and we just got to where the Hina arc is starting to like chill out, and
okay. Okay.
Yeah, like where things are starting to like, get, you're starting to see almost a little light at the end of the tunnel, without going into spoilers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I do. I know exactly what you're saying.
And we're about to rev up and go into the arc where you get to find out more about Soya and the other older Rakugo performer. Not Rakugo performer. Oh my god.
He looks like one!
He does! But no, the older shogi players and their matches. It's going to be so much. I can't wait to hear his his thoughts on those episodes in particular. But yeah,
I propose that you should watch Fruits Basket 2019 together and then watch a March right after it, just for like this emotional power hour.
Delicious tears.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I could handle that. I definitely couldn't handle that. So much stuff.
So much stuff. So much stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's about all I really have in thoughts to cover. I know some people are very excited for, I think it's like the My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu is finally getting season 3, but
yeah,
I've always tried and could never really get into the first season, and so I doubt I will now. But if you're excited for it, awesome, it's coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of about all we got. Might be a little bit of a shorter episode, but we did want to come through and let you know that our eyes are on the radar of the summer season of anime, and we will be back for, I guess, like scheduled host choice viewing pretty soon. Cassie already mentioned we got a patron request up next week, so yeah, you can
the long-awaited,
yes, half of a patron request. So that one will be good. Before we head out, do you have anything you want to say to the listeners at home, Cassie?
Mostly just stay safe. If you have time, we didn't necessarily bring it up until now because we just want to talk about some nice stuff to get our minds off of, current events currently, but educate yourselves. Go donate to some charities. Annie Chatbox supports Black Lives Matter.
We do.
So I know that I've donated some money. Lily has also donated to a few funds. I believe Craig has as well, and I believe Cammie has as well.
Yes.
So we've all gotten off our butt and donated. So if you can, please do so yourself. If you do not know who to donate to, there's some great resources available on Twitter, on Facebook, and if you just want to go and search on Google. But if you don't know what you want to donate to or you want to donate to the same stuff we have, feel free to write us an email and we'll email you back with some cool resources, or you can poke any of us on Twitter.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know that we are actively now, most of us kind of have a balance of posting our regular anime bullshit and then definitely coming through with just updates and resources for Black Lives Matter. So yeah, feel free to at any of us. If you educate yourself by movies and media more so, feel free to poke me about recommendations for films. I recently sent a big long list to a friend who was interested in learning. So yeah, you can feel free to bug me about that. And Cassie just so helpfully got us to slip into our social links. Is it cool if I veer us in that direction?
All right. Absolutely. Right. Just stay safe out there, guys.
Yeah. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. We are thinking about you. We are trying to support the movements that are going on. We believe that human rights come first. So if you want to get in touch with us, either at our personal Twitters or just the podcast in general, you can find the podcast in general at twitter.com/AnnieChatbox. Our individual Twitters are listed in the description. You can send us emails at anniechatmail@gmail.com. We are able to be heard on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. We do have a Patreon at patreon.com/AnnieChatbox, but if you're really feeling charitable right now, go donate it to those causes. That would make us very happy. And major shout outs to our patrons, Sarah, CorpsyAnn, Carol, Suki, Paul, TroubleClef, and John. Paul's got a ridiculous patron request for me coming through the pipeline in a bit. It'll be lots of fun. And thank all of you for what you do and helping us continue to talk about anime, which we love to do, and we love you. And if you want to hear more from Craig, especially if you want to yell at Craig for not being on the pod, you can do so by listening to and contacting Save Our Progress. You can hear their episodes at soundcloud.com/saveourprogress. Recently, Cassie was on for an anime movie night about the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, and I also will be on one upcoming. I can neither confirm nor deny that it's about a Studio Ghibli film. So there you go.
So hype.
That is it.
So hype!
Yes, so this has been episode 153 of the Annie Chat Box. Again, stay safe, take care of yourself, do what you've got to do to be well. We love you, friends.
Love you. Bye.
Oyasumi!